What's up, you guys? This one's been on the back burner for way too long. This video is going to showcase and highlight all the awesome vegan food we devoured on our trip to Europe. This one specifically is going to cover our London leg portion of it, and just to give you all a heads up, some of the footage, most of the ones really throughout these, are going to be a little rough and not as polished as others because these were all the first videos I started taking when I decided to get this channel going. But regardless, I've got a lot of great food to show you, a lot of London that we explored and want to share with you, so let's get right into it. We actually touched this trip down in Paris, but as soon as we got there, we pretty much took off to London by train for a few days for a last-minute meetup with a friend. And man, let me tell you, London is a vegan haven. Vegan heaven, really. I was very pleasantly surprised to the highest degree of how many vegan options they had to offer all over the place. They had something for everyone, everywhere. We would walk by places and kind of be like, nah, they probably don't have anything vegan. Then we'd do a double take at the menu and find out that they actually did, with many places offering multiple things. It got to the point where instead of being surprised that a place had vegan options, we would be surprised when they didn't have them. Mind you, I hadn't even been vegan for very long when we took this trip. I believe I was only under a year at that point, so I hadn't been exposed to too many things. So I freaking love London for this. Just helps cement everything in my mind even further that going vegan is really not all that hard, and you could find something pretty much anywhere you go. And one of the first places we went to in London was actually an Asian buffet spot, an entirely vegan Asian buffet spot, which totally blew my mind, and so did the food. Man, was it good. It was Tai Buffet on Uxbridge Road in Shepherd's Bush, and it was actually very reasonably priced from what I remember. They had a bunch of veggie stuff, tofu stuff, mock meat stuff, noodles, dumplings, desserts, all the fixings you could ask for. I really wish I shot more footage of this place because they actually had a lot of good stuff, and we sampled pretty much all of it. If we had more time on our trip, we definitely would have ate there again, but we were only in London for a few days, and there was a lot more to explore and more food we wanted to try. Something we seem to see everywhere was this place called Greggs. I guess it's like London's largest bakery chain, and at a certain point we finally strolled into one in between train rides in the tube, and wouldn't you know, they happened to have a vegan option, a vegan sausage roll, a very good vegan sausage roll. It was nice and crispy on the outside, leading up to a warm, fluffy inside with a nice, savory sausage. Another one I wish I had more footage of, but hey, I warned you guys, these were gonna be rough. All I can say about this one is if you come across a Greggs, which you definitely will if you're in London, stop by and grab one of these puppies. You won't regret it. And there was another place we kept seeing everywhere. It was called Wasabi, a sushi chain that we also finally dipped into one day and tried some stuff. A roll, gyoza, onigiri, and a teriyaki tofu salad. And it was all actually pretty good. Great place to just grab some quick sushi stuff and get going. Now, a place we were really excited to experience was the Borough Market, which is home to a hybrid of street food vendors, a farmer's market, and what looked like actual shops and eateries. This place is near the Shard, where you could scope out the highest views of London, the Guggenheim Museum, and it's right around London Bridge, which is not the bridge you think it is. That big one, that's the Tower Bridge. We learned this the hard way by Google mapping our way to London Bridge, intending to see the Tower Bridge, only to be completely perplexed when we got there and ended up with a far-off view of the bridge we wanted to see. Yeah, the big old bridge, that one's Tower Bridge, not London Bridge. Just in case you didn't know. But yeah, this place, the Borough Market, it's all within 10 minutes of all those things. And there's so much to see here, and of course, so much food to eat. We settled on a couple things to share. A vegan bureka from Balkan Bites. It's a sort of savory filled pastry, almost like a samosa, except a bit flatter, thinner, crispier, flakier. The one we got was sweet potato and chickpea with cumin and coriander, and we also grabbed a couple of baos from Eat Che, a kimchi bao and a soy chicken bao. Both bomb. Everything we got was so good. This doesn't look like a real full-on meal because they were kind of just our midday snacks. We just wanted a little something to hold us over at that point of the day, and these were absolutely perfect for that. This next spot we just happened to stumble upon while wandering around with our friends. It was almost like a sort of vegan alley, if I had to describe it. It was tucked away near Camden Market, near Camden Lock, over in Camden Town, which is near Primrose Hill, a really nice park with really nice views of London. We were there on a super foggy, super misty day, but it was still super nice. It's just about a 10-minute walk away from this place, and I was really excited about finding this little alley. I actually had separated from everyone shopping the markets to go find a bathroom, and when I saw vegan this and vegan that, I ran back to everyone and was like, yo, come check this out. They've got a spot just for me over here. The one place that stood out to me was this spot, Young Vegans. There they had some good old traditional English pot pies, and they had quite a variety of flavors like cheeseburger, there was a chicken parm one. I went with the steak and ale one, and whoo, man, this had to have been one of my favorite things I ate out of anything in London. And funny story about pot pies, when I was a kid, me and my brother would go to this bakery down the street from our house to eat these chicken pot pies. We were crazy over those things, would eat them all the time. Then this movie Chicken Run came out.
I don't want to be a pie!
And after seeing it, we never went back to that place again. And honestly, I think this may have been the first pot pie I've had since then. It was so good. It's so good that we actually ended up coming back here later that night so I could grab another one to save for later, as well as a couple of their dessert pies. Grabbed a peanut butter and chocolate mud pie, as well as an apple pie. All out of this world delicious. If you happen to be around the area of this alley, or even if you're not, make a trip out here and check this spot out. It was one of my favorites on the entire trip. Liked it so much I even bought one of their shirts, even though it didn't fit. I didn't care. Just wanted to support an awesome vegan spot serving up some awesome vegan food. And before we bounced out of the area, we did grab a few desserts to share from Nora and Nama's Vegan Bakery. A fig and almond croissant, a hazelnut and cocoa babka, a chocolate fudge bar, pecan bar, a chocolate chip cookie, a chocolate cookie sandwich, and an alfajores. I only have the one picture of this stuff because by the time we got around to eating it, I literally just inhaled it. It was good, guys. One night we were strolling around Carnaby and Piccadilly Circus. It got late and we got hungry, and one of the only options we could find was this place called Wok to Wok. Pretty clever. An Asian build-your-own stir-fry wok-up of sorts. Seemed pretty popular because there was a line of people eagerly waiting to place their orders and a line of people off to the side excitedly enjoying theirs. Not everything's vegan here, but they did have some good options. I went with the base of a veggie mix with broccoli, button mushrooms, carrots, pak choy, onions, and white cabbage. Added some tofu, onions, peppers, fried garlic, and some of their spicy hot sauces that they had to top it off. We actually walked it all the way back to the hotel. Well, I lied, we took the train and walked up to the elevator to take it back into the hotel, but this one was a great way to end that day. Nice and savory, full of flavor, while still feeling like a lighter option because of all the veggie goodness packed into it. Now this next spot is one I was looking forward to for a long time. Unity Diner, which was a project of Earthling Ed's. If you haven't heard of the guy, he's one of the biggest voices for veganism and animals alike. He's actually one of the main people who inspired me to finally go vegan. His approach to it all is one that resonated with me the hardest, so I appreciate this man so much for that, and I was very excited to finally visit his restaurant, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. The original location of Unity Diner when we visited was kind of deep into the financial district. It was the furthest trip we took to any food spot on our entire trip. It was away from everything else we had on our list of things to do and see, but it was all well worth it. I believe it's actually moved since our trip, not sure exactly where, but we'll be back to check it out whenever we return to London. This visit though was one of the highlights of all our food tastings. Unity Diner had everything you could want, and we pretty much ordered everything. We got a mountain of cheesy beefy nachos, a fried shrimp topped hot dog, and a nice juicy cheeseburger. These things didn't just look good, they were good. Real good. Like I said, even though it took some effort to get out there, it was all worth it for what we got. And of course, to finally visit the place from the guy who helped motivate and inspire me to finally go vegan. So huge thank you to Earthling Ed for that and everything he does and blessing us with this awesome spot with awesome food. Now, I am a big dessert guy. I have a huge sweet tooth, and this next place hit my sweet spot so hard. It's another we just happened to discover while walking around, Dougnut Time. And this is also another one with multiple spots around the city. And we came across this one after visiting the Sky Garden, which is London's highest public garden. Definitely recommend going up there to soak up some sweet sights of the city. We were actually making our way down from there and wandering around towards the Tower of London when I just saw the word donut from across the street, caught my eye. And this was early on in the trip where I was like, I know, donut, but no, they don't have anything vegan. I don't want to bother with having to cross the street and all that. And Ceci was like, come on, let's just look, you never know. So we went over there and I started drooling when I saw these donuts. They were exactly the kind I like, just packed with all sorts of sugary sweetness. So I'm scanning them and I'm looking and I see the word vegan here and I see the word vegan there, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever been happier of any other discovery in my lifetime. So of course we grabbed a bunch to try, and let me tell you, I am a donut connoisseur. These donuts right here are the best donuts I've ever had in my entire life. Vegan or not, they were delicious. And the names for these are fantastic. We got an Ice Baby. It's vanilla buttercream cookie dough donut, an apple crumble and Fitch apple pie donut, and as a former Abercrombie employee, that one hit me in the feels. A David Hassel Biscoff caramel glazed cookie butter donut, a Pump Up the Jam donut with raspberry and plum jam filling dusted with cinnamon sugar, and a See Ya Later red velvet donut with buttercream frosting and freeze-dried raspberries. I'm seriously salivating right now just naming these off and looking at them, but I'm not at all ashamed to say, even though we were only in town for a few days, I had multiple donuts from here every one of those days. One of the things I'm looking forward to most about whenever we go back to London is being able to have these donuts again. That's how good they are. One of my friends actually went to London recently and she knows how much I love these. She said she'd even bring me back one on the way home, but she ended up eating it. So we're not friends anymore. The day we left London, we didn't have much time to do anything other than pack up and get going. So the last thing we ate was a buffet of fast food because, hey, we wanted to try a bit of everything we loved back home, and they were all right next to each other on the way out, so why not? And one of the things I was most happy to finally be able to indulge in again was McDonald's fries. In case you didn't know, no, they're not vegan in the States, unfortunately. They're cooked in animal fat, but not in London, baby.
London, baby! London, baby! That's London, baby!
They're vegan there, so of course we got those, and they were better than ever. We also grabbed the vegetable deluxe burger. Had to get that one without any sauce for it to be vegan, and also a spicy veggie wrap, both filled with red pesto vegetable goujons. And we got onion rings from Burger King, which thankfully are also vegan over in London. They're not here. We got their veggie burger, which we had to order without sauce, and also a vegan Subway sandwich. It was good to finally have those delicious McDonald's fries again. Honestly, I don't know why they don't just cook them the same way stateside and everywhere else. You can barely taste any difference. They're still just as good. I mean, really, they're even better, all things considered, right? And all the other food was just as good as you could expect from any fast food joint. When you want it, and it hits the spot just right. The very last thing we actually did in London was wander into a Whole Foods of all places. They're generally a great grocery store for carrying more vegan options than others, so we wanted to see if the same was true in London, and it was. This Whole Foods actually had the most vegan options out of any I've been to anywhere, especially in the sweets department. So this was literal Whole Foods heaven to me. And we grabbed a huge haul of stuff to indulge in. Helped me get my sweet fix all through the rest of our trip through Europe. This London leg of it though was seriously amazing. I had the best time with the best friends, seeing all the best of London. It literally has everything. The beautiful bustling city, the calmer, quieter, tranquil parts of nature, and an alluring history of architecture that spans ages. The only thing that could have made this trip any better is if we didn't have to leave so soon, and if we got to eat more of the amazing food. All of the food was just as amazing as London itself. The amount of vegan options and offerings was amazing. I'm sad we didn't get to stay longer, but I am looking forward to when we make our way back out there to see, do, and eat even more the next time around. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. We certainly enjoyed eating our way through it. If you did, don't forget to give the video a like. Helps the channel keep going and growing and helps me know that you care. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any awesome vegan fueled adventures like this one. And for fit tips and workouts on how to use all this super fuel to build a super body, make sure to check out and subscribe to our Zero to Hero Muscle channel, where we cover gym and home workouts and everything in between for people with gyms and without anything. So make sure to subscribe over there to get started on getting into better shape with whatever you have without any problems. And to get fully structured and complete training programs, head over to our official website to find the right one for you. For all the best ways you could be supersizing and super shredding your superhero physique for the ultimate zero to hero transformation. If you enjoyed this super vegan video, make sure you Hulk smash that like button. Share the video to spread the vegan vibes and help keep the super vegan squad going and growing. Leave some comments below about some of your favorite vegan eats. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Until next time, Super Squad, go vegan and go well. Peace.